One of the most important things that you can do in your business when getting started with AI is setting up your business knowledge base and setting it up properly. There's a difference between an AI knowledge base and a database, which I'll break down in future videos, so be sure to like and subscribe. But the big thing that I'm going to go through today is how easy it can be to build AI agents for you and your team when you have your business knowledge base set up properly. So I'm going to jump over into our trusty Miro. If you don't use Miro, you definitely should. So you've got your business knowledge base. So the big thing with this is, like I was saying, paste this in here. This is your product service, your frameworks, your strategies, your processes, your playbook, customer support tickets. Like, this is all of your information curated in a very specific way and set up in a knowledge base so your team has access to it. And your AI agents, most importantly, have it as well. I don't want to dive too much into this video because it can get quite technical. We'll have to save that for another one. But if you look at your business and how it essentially runs, it's like your team members and people, wherever it is across marketing or sales or your fulfillment side, they're using the business information to be able to communicate it to the next person on the team or to your customers so they can actually purchase the product or service itself. So being able to take this stuff out of your Google Drive, out of your Notion, out of your Airtable, and building it into an actual knowledge base that only makes your team more effective in a shorter period of time. It also makes the AI agents more effective because you can do more things with them. The next thing with it as well in your business knowledge base is if you, for some reason, update the product or service. Black Friday is actually coming up relatively soon, and we call it Black Friday syndrome. If something changes within that, then Monday, you got Cyber Monday, then on Tuesday, if you have your sales back, you have to change the knowledge base once for all of your team and then all of your AI agents to be able to have that same update as well. So it makes your team a lot more effective when set up properly. What I want to talk about in this video is I'm going to break down the value that it can be in the sales department and how you can train people in it and how to utilize a knowledge base and your sales agents together to close more deals, be more effective, and to be able to train more people into that seat itself. Our goal when running businesses is not to necessarily replace people. I know a lot of people say that a lot. AI is not going to replace you. Somebody with AI is actually going to replace you. Mine is AI is not going to replace you. It's going to expose the people that shouldn't be there anyways. So the big thing with it when you're starting is if you haven't done the process in your business before, you need to know what that final outcome is, what that expert knowledge is in the actual seat. So a sales, you're not going to have a new person who's never done sales before train an AI agent on how to close business in yours. You're just not going to do it. So if you've got a salesperson in your actual team itself, it's going to add another board here. Let's make this one green. Sales expert agent. So you've got somebody on your team, and this doesn't matter what seat it is. I'm using sales for this example, but then you've got your marketing, whether it's on content or paid advertising or copy. You've got people in HR. You've got people on the actual project management side. Everybody is an expert in their own seat, and you need to be able to extract those processes on how you do it so you can train that agent on how it actually works. Like I was saying, this sales expert, not the sales agent, understands its own frameworks, understands its own strategies, understands objection handling, whatever it may be, to be an expert salesperson, but they're still referring back to your business knowledge. It's how these agents work. They've got their own knowledge base, they've got their own strategies and their own playbook, just like a prompt, and then they reference a business information. And as you start stringing these AI agents or these AI orchestrations together, they become more and more powerful. Think of it of like Henry Ford and the assembly line. He went in and he reinvented the production line for the innovation and producing more cars. But each one is like, you have to pass the task to the next person as quick as possible without broken communication. And that's how he was able to do it back in the day. And that's what AI and AI infrastructures are going to do for your business. So with this sales expert, same thing. You've got frameworks. You've got strategies on objections, tone, sentiment, whatever it may be. An expert in sales will understand these things, but it's important to have these trained in this sales agent. Because if you don't, how is it supposed to know how you follow and how you close the actual product itself? Great. So this sales expert now is selling this information following these points here. And there can obviously be more of these things itself. I'm actually just going to move myself, make it a little bit smaller. So we've got these. Now with it, it's you need to train people into the actual business itself. So there's 2 points where it can be extremely valuable. And again, this doesn't matter which seat or role it's in. It's the same process and the same functionality. And that's where AI becomes extremely valuable once you understand how it works. No matter what position it is, what task you're trying to do, if you follow these basic functionalities, it becomes a lot easier to actually set these things up. So I'm going to add another block here where you're continuing to go downstream. So internal training agent. So when you're hiring somebody into your business, you typically want them to understand what your business is about and what your who they're working for, why they're working for them, all that fun stuff. I'm going to make this a little bit different color. Let's make it blue. So if you built this internal training agent, so you hire somebody into your business and you need to train them on the business knowledge base, you now have an agent that can help them get set up where they don't have to go to the manager or the director as often because you've got that thing, that agent trained on the actual business. And this is where it's train your business on the business. And this is how it can continue to stem down. The next one is you need to train the person who's going to be the next sales expert in your team to understand all the frameworks and everything in here as well. So if you build an agent on the sales expert, that arrow didn't work. You now have 2 agents that essentially work together to accomplish the same goal, to become a better sales agent, which is fantastic. The train your business on your business starts at the macro and continues to break itself down into the micros, into those seats. I know I'm repeating myself, but I really wanted to hit home because it's not as complicated of a process when you understand how these things work. Rotate this. So I'm repeating myself. The training agent trains the new salesperson coming in on the business information. I'll add one more. We'll add another one over here. New salesperson. Great. These things need to be trained differently because they do 2 different things. One needs to train the person on the business, which you can see, the internal training agent, on the overall business information, which is above, business knowledge base. And then the new salesperson also needs to be trained on the sales expert, on their framework, strategies, objections, tone, sentiment, however they may do it. The really cool thing is this both trains can help you expand across multiple seats. If I change this person to HR, I change this person to marketing or content or whatever it may be, the framework around these and the functionality of these becomes to repeat itself. And this is, again, where you start really getting that production line. To continue to go down, this salesperson is now going to have sales calls. So if we add in a transcription, we're going to make this one sales call transcription, which is actually another important one in the sales agent. You need to give it some transcriptions, which would be considered a perfect call or an expert call or something that you've actually closed the information itself. Because if you give this sales agent the example of what it's trying to go to, you'll be able to teach the person how to get there a lot faster. So the training agent, I'm going through, I'm learning it. Well, what are our strategies? How do I do objection handling? Somebody asked me this question. How do I answer it? How would you answer it? Then the person gets their first chance at an actual call itself, which is great. I'm going to move this over here. Sales transcription. So what it actually does is it would then review it through the sales expert agent, understand the framework, strategies, objections, tone, sentiment, which is great. But it's what to do next with it is where it becomes extremely valuable. So in these, breaking these down into micro feedback loops or analysis on them. And I talk about this in other videos as well, where stop looking in the rear view mirror and start predicting the future. This is where you start becoming and building your infinity loop of training this person to become better and better and better and better. This is where it becomes extremely powerful. So if you can create this loop where this person comes in and they've now trained on the whole business itself, train your business on the business. Then in the seat, same thing. Part of the business and looking at this salesperson as their own entrepreneur, their own expert, is you've trained the business on the business again. So you've got 2 points of information and knowledge, which when they work together, they help somebody train faster into those positions. You can get them to become more effective, make more money, whatever seat it may be. Then they've got this training agent that they work together, which is great. And now it's their time to do an actual call itself. The most important call that we believe in the day is that first one, where they typically come in and they'll screw up that first call. They just woke up, they haven't had their morning coffee, whatever it may be. So to help somebody on that first call and using AI to help them with that first call is going to be extremely valuable. I've talked about this before at speaking engagements and in person, and I'm going to be breaking down what this idea is for people on how, if you are in sales, you are teaching people, a very valuable vertical agent that you could essentially train people faster based on your frameworks. So again, be sure to like and subscribe because we're going to continue to break these things down more and more. The transcription comes through, it goes into the sales expert agent, and it's going to break down did I follow the frameworks? Did I follow the objections? Did I follow the tone? Did I follow the sentiment? And then generating a report, which then would be pushed down even further. I'll create another one. My arrows aren't lining up, but we get the point. Sales report. I get this sales report. And how am I supposed to get better? Once I get the report, which is fantastic, does the salesperson read it? And are they going to actually follow it to get better themselves? There's one ways where you can make this generate the report. Yeah, that one goes in there. This report has information. It's how you use the information to train this new salesperson that people are not understanding how to actually tweak AI. People need to get better and you need to challenge people in each way. So if you can give them the recommended on, okay, you've had the objection here, and this is where AI can help you with it, is predicting what's next. Okay, you had this objection. This is how you would solve it based on the frameworks, based on the strategies, and actually giving them the guidance in that report as well, not why you messed up. Here's how you can do the thing next. Because this report could essentially in time be turned into its own little agent that is specific to this person, that they can, am I progressing? How am I supposed to, why do I keep doing these? These are the things. So it's like these sales reports continue to stack up, and we're going to be able to track all of the progression across all of the work that they're essentially doing. And this is where it becomes valuable, because it's very hard to continue to progress in business if you're not seeing the progression. It's one thing to get one report, but if I have 15 reports and I can see, oh, my objection handling is getting better. Oh, my tonality is getting worse. I understand where I need to fix myself on these graphs so I can be a better salesperson itself. I know I'm speaking about sales here, but it's something that can be done, again, in your marketing, whether it's content, writing websites, all these things. How do you teach people in your day-to-day basis, and how do you continue to make them better and better? You've trained the person knows about your business. The person is an expert in their actual seat itself. And you've built these micro agents to be able to help guide them along the way, like the assembly line, like Henry Ford did in the production line, to make your life easier. I'm going to be breaking these things down a lot more granular over time, but I really wanted to create this video to help you understand the importance of this and what you can do with this across your whole team, across your whole organization, across every person. That could is simply just change one thing in your business knowledge base, and it help retrain the whole system with ease. It makes your business more effective. It scales your team faster. It helps you generate more revenue, and it makes you an AI first business. So on that note, I really would love to help set these things up and provide guidance. So if you comment below on some things that you want me to cover in these videos, if you want me to break down the sales expert agent or across different roles, in the comments below, I can take these and I can start building out these videos a little bit more granularly for you to make them more tailored for the people who are interested in getting some guidance on them. The last thing, going to ask, be sure to like, share this with somebody, subscribe, be sure to subscribe so I can continue to build this channel, get your feedback, and make this as impactful and as valuable as possible. And as always, stay dialed.